Want to know how to get people to like you? Want to know how to get people to agree with you? Want to know how to get people to even do what you want? These 10 psychology tricks work on anybody. I'm about to show you 10 insane mind hacks that you can start using today. And the craziest part? These aren't just random guesses. Every single one of these techniques is backed by actual scientific studies and psychological research. We're talking about the real deal stuff that professionals use but simplified so you can use them in your everyday life. Whether you're trying to make new friends, nail a job interview, or just get your roommate to finally do the dishes. These aren't about manipulation in a bad way. Think of them as social superpowers. They're about understanding people better, communicating more effectively, and building stronger connections. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of psychological secrets that will completely change how you interact with people. I'm going to break down each trick, show you exactly how to do it, and explain the science behind why it works so incredibly well. Get ready, because what you're about to learn is a total game changer. We're going from simple body language tweaks to powerful persuasion techniques that can literally change minds. Imagine walking into a room and instantly building rapport with anyone, or asking a question and getting the complete, honest truth. That's the kind of power we're unlocking today. So, grab a notepad, pay close attention, because we are starting with one of the most powerful and subtle tricks in the book. Let's get into it. First up, we have the mirror effect. This one is so simple, so unbelievably effective it feels like cheating. All you have to do is subtly copy the body language of the person you're talking to. If they lean in, you lean in a little. If they cross their arms, you wait a few seconds and then cross yours. If they nod while speaking, you do the same. It's that easy. You're basically becoming their reflection, and their subconscious brain absolutely loves it. Why does this work? It's all about a special type of brain cell called a mirror neuron. These neurons fire both when we perform an action, and when we see someone else perform that same action. It's how we learn to empathize and connect with others. When you subtly mirror someone, their brain picks up on the similarities and sends a signal that says, "Hey, this person is like me, they get me, I can trust them." It builds an instant, unspoken bond of rapport. You have to be careful though, the key word here is subtle. Don't be a parrot. If they scratch their nose, don't immediately scratch your nose in the exact same way. That's just creepy and obvious. Wait a few moments. Do a slightly different version of the gesture. The goal is to create a sense of familiarity and comfort, not to make them think you're mocking them. It's a dance, not a copy-paste job. Practice it, and you'll be amazed at how much more smoothly your conversations go. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed that you and your best friend sometimes sit the same way or use the same hand gestures without even thinking about it? That's the mirror effect happening naturally. All we're doing is taking that natural process and using it intentionally to speed up the connection process with new people. Try it with the next cashier you talk to or a new colleague at work. You'll see their attitude towards you warm up almost instantly. It's your first step to becoming a social mastermind. Alright, this next trick is going to feel weird at first, but trust me, it's a game changer. Especially when you want to get more information out of someone. It's called the power of silence. Here's the scenario. You ask someone a question, they give you a short, incomplete answer. What do most of us do? We jump in, we ask another question, we try to rephrase it. Wrong. The secret is to just shut up. After they finish the initial answer, stay quiet, maintain eye contact. Nod a little like you're expecting more, and then wait. This creates a social vacuum, a void in the conversation. We hate awkward silences. The other person feels pressure to fill that silence, and they often do by giving extra details you wanted. They'll talk just to make the awkwardness go away. This is used by FBI negotiators, top journalists, expert salespeople all the time. It works because it puts pressure on them without being aggressive. You're not demanding more, you're creating space for them to offer it willingly. They feel in control while you're pulling the strings. It's a genius move. People reveal more than they intended. Next time you're negotiating or a friend seems evasive, try this. Ask your question, get the initial response, then wait. Count to 4 in your head. It feels like an eternity, but they'll keep talking. They'll give juicy details, hidden thoughts, the real answer you wanted. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. This next one sounds completely backward. It's named after one of America's founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. Here's the secret. If you want someone to like you, ask them to do a small favor for you. Don't do a favor for them. I know it sounds crazy. You'd think doing something nice would make someone like you more, but science says the opposite is often true. The story goes, Franklin had a rival who disliked him. Instead of trying to win him over with kindness, Franklin asked to borrow a rare book from the man's library. The rival was surprised but agreed. Franklin returned the book a week later with a thank you note. The man's entire attitude changed. They became lifelong friends. Why? Because of a psychological principle called cognitive dissonance. Our brains hate it when our actions and our feelings don't line up. When the man did a favor for Franklin, a nice action, his brain couldn't hold on to the feeling that he disliked Franklin. That creates a conflict, a dissonance. To resolve this conflict, the brain's easiest path is to change the feeling. The man's brain subconsciously reasoned, I just did something nice for Ben Franklin, I must actually like him. He changed his belief to match his action. So how can you use this? Ask for a tiny, easy-to-fulfill favor. Hey, can you pass me that napkin? Could you watch my stuff for just a second while I grab a coffee? Can I borrow a pen? The favor has to be small so they don't feel put upon. By agreeing, they subconsciously justify the action by increasing their positive feelings toward you. It's a simple, powerful way to turn an acquaintance, or even a hater, into a friend. It's not about what you do for them, it's about what you let them do for you. Imagine you need to ask for something big like help, moving into a new apartment, or a big donation for a charity you support. If you just ask for it outright, you're likely to get a no. But what if I told you there's a way to almost guarantee a yes? This is the foot in the door technique. It's one of the most classic and powerful persuasion tactics. It's all about starting small. The technique is simple. Make a very small, almost trivial request that the person is almost certain to say yes to. Once they've agreed to the small thing, follow up with your real, larger request. For example, instead of asking a neighbor to water your plants for a whole week, first ask, could you just grab my mail tomorrow? It's a tiny request. They'll likely say yes. A day later say, thanks for getting the mail, you're a lifesaver. Then ask, since you'll be near the front door, could you quickly water the porch plant too? Because they already said yes once, their brain wants to stay consistent. They've established themselves as a helpful person in this interaction, and saying no now would create that uncomfortable cognitive dissonance. This works because we have a deep need to be consistent with past actions. Once we've publicly agreed to something small, we feel pressure to stick with it. We see ourselves as the kind of person who helps, so we continue to help. Charities use this all the time. They'll ask you to sign a petition, then they'll ask you for a donation. Start small, get that first yes, and the door will swing wide open for your bigger ask. What is the single most important and sweetest sound to any person in any language? It's their own name. This next hack, the name game, is so incredibly simple, yet so many people forget to do it. Using a person's name during a conversation is like a magic key that unlocks their attention and makes them feel instantly more connected to you. It's a fundamental tool for building rapport. Think about it. When you're in a crowded room and someone shouts your name, your head instantly whips around. Your brain is hardwired to respond to it. When someone you've just met uses your name, it sends a powerful subconscious message. I see you. I acknowledge you. You are important to me. It shows you were paying attention, and that you value them enough to remember who they are. It elevates you from just another face in the crowd to someone they have a personal connection with. Dale Carnegie, the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, famously said, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Using it makes people feel respected and validated. Instead of saying, 'It was nice to meet you,' say, 'It was really nice to meet you, Sarah.' Instead of, 'That's a great point,' say, 'That's a great point, David.' See the difference? It adds a layer of personal warmth that is impossible to ignore, but just like mirroring, don't overdo it. If you sprinkle their name into every single sentence, it will sound unnatural and even manipulative, like a cheesy salesperson. The sweet spot is to use it once at the beginning of a conversation, maybe once in the middle during an important point, and once at the end. It should feel natural and genuine. Master this, and you'll be shocked at how much more positively people respond to you. It's the easiest, fastest way to make someone feel like $1,000,000. Nobody likes to be criticized, and nobody likes to give criticism because it's awkward and can lead to conflict. But what if there was a way to give someone feedback or constructive criticism so they not only accept it but actually thank you for it? This is where the brilliant technique known as the compliment sandwich comes in. It's the ultimate way to deliver negative feedback without hurting feelings. The structure is beautifully simple. You start with a genuine, specific compliment, the top slice of bread. Then you deliver the criticism or suggestion for improvement, the meat of the sandwich. Finally, you end with another encouraging, positive compliment, the bottom slice of bread. The two compliments cushion the blow of the criticism, making it much easier for the person to hear and accept. Let's say your friend gave a presentation but they were speaking way too fast. Instead of just saying, "You talk too fast," you use the sandwich. "Hey, that was a great presentation. Your research was so thorough and impressive." That's compliment one. "I did notice that sometimes you were speaking a bit quickly, and I missed a few of your amazing points. Maybe just slowing down a little next time would make it even more impactful." That's the criticism. But honestly, your confidence up there was incredible. You really owned the room. That's compliment two. This technique works because it preserves the other person's self-esteem. You start by affirming their value, which makes them receptive to feedback instead of defensive. The criticism is framed as a way to improve something that is already good, and you end on a high note, leaving them feeling positive about the interaction and motivated to make the change. Respectful, empathetic, wildly effective work, friendships, relationships. This next one isn't a trick to use on other people, but, a mind hack to use on yourself that will honestly change your life. It's about understanding a psychological bias called the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is our tendency to believe that other people are paying way more attention to our appearance and actions than they actually are. We feel like we have this giant, bright spotlight on us at all times, highlighting every mistake and flaw. But here's the secret: that spotlight is all in your head. In reality, people are so wrapped up in their own lives, their own insecurities, their own mental spotlights, that they barely have time to notice that stain on your shirt, that you stumbled over a word, or that you had a bad hair day. A famous study had students wear an embarrassing t-shirt into a classroom. The student wearing it predicted that about half of the other students would notice. The actual number? Only about 1/5. Understanding this is, incredibly freeing. It means you can stop being so self-conscious. That fear of judgment that holds you back from speaking up in a meeting, trying a new hobby, or dancing at a wedding, it's mostly imaginary. Once you realize that nobody is scrutinizing you as much as you think, you gain a massive confidence boost. You can take more risks, be more authentic, and stop worrying about what other people might be thinking. So the next time you feel that wave of anxiety because you think you did something embarrassing, just remember the spotlight effect. Take a deep breath and realize that you are the star, director, primary audience of your own movie. Most other people are just extras who are busy worrying about their own films. Turn off the imaginary spotlight. Go out there and be bold, be confident, and be yourself. The truth is, most people will be too busy to even notice. Okay, this next hack is extremely powerful, but it comes with a big warning. Use it appropriately and respectfully. It's the power of touch. Not anything weird or creepy, but a simple, light, brief touch on the arm, on the shoulder. Decades of research shows this can dramatically increase compliance, build connection, and create feelings of warmth and trust. It's a non-verbal way of saying, "I'm with you." Studies found incredible results. Waitresses who lightly touched a customer's arm or shoulder when giving the check got bigger tips. People were more likely to sign a petition if touched while asked. People were more likely to help pick up dropped items if touched moments before. It's a subtle but profound signal to the brain. Why is it so effective? From birth, touch equals safety, care, and connection. A light, non-threatening touch can trigger oxytocin release. Oxytocin promotes trust and generosity. It breaks down personal barriers and creates a fleeting human connection. You become a friendly ally, not a stranger. Keep it light, brief, and in a safe zone, the upper arm or the shoulder. 1 to 2 second touch is all it takes. Be aware of cultural norms and personal boundaries. Don't use it in a super formal business setting or with someone who seems uncomfortable. In casual social settings, when asking a small favor or emphasizing a friendly point, a light touch can work wonders. It's a secret weapon for instant rapport. Have you ever seen a limited edition sneaker and suddenly wanted it, even if you didn't care about it before? Or rushed to buy something because the sale was for one day only? That's the scarcity principle in action. It's one of the most powerful drivers of human desire. We perceive things as more valuable when they are less available. This taps into a deep-seated fear, the fear of missing out, or FOMO. When something is scarce, we worry we might lose the chance forever. That creates urgency that can override logical decision-making. Companies are masters at this. Only 3 left in stock, limited time offer, exclusive access for members only, all designed to trigger your scarcity sensors and push you to act now. You can use this in your own life, not just for selling. Frame your time and offerings as valuable and limited. Freelancer example, limited client spots this quarter. Social example, 1 free evening this week. This isn't arrogance, it's signaling value. Make your availability a bit less abundant, people will value it more. They'll commit to plans and be less likely to flake. They'll appreciate your input more. Remember, people want what they can't have. Introduce ethical scarcity to increase perceived value. Just be sure what you're offering is actually valuable. Our final mind hack is the big brother of the foot in the door technique. It's the consistency principle, and it explains our almost obsessive desire to be and to appear consistent with what we have already done. Once we make a choice or take a stand, we will encounter personal and interpersonal pressures to behave consistently with that commitment. It's a mental shortcut our brain uses to avoid having to rethink every decision. Here's how it works. Getting someone to make a small initial commitment is the key. This commitment can be anything. Saying they support a cause, writing something down, agreeing to a small task. Once that commitment is made, they are far more likely to agree to larger requests that are consistent with that initial commitment. They want to maintain a stable, consistent self-image. A classic study illustrates this perfectly. Researchers asked one group of homeowners to put a huge, ugly "Drive carefully" sign on their front lawn. Almost everyone said no, but with a second group, they first asked them to display a tiny, 3-inch square sign in their window that said, "Be a safe driver." Nearly everyone agreed. 2 weeks later, when those same homeowners were asked to put up the huge, ugly sign, a shocking 76% of them said yes. Their initial small commitment made them want to stay consistent. You can use this to build better habits or to influence others positively. Want to go to the gym more? Commit to just putting on your gym clothes every morning. That small commitment makes the next step, actually going, much more likely. Want to get a friend to help with a big project? First, ask them for their opinion on one small part of it. Getting them to invest even a tiny bit of mental energy makes them more likely to stay involved. Get a small yes, and you pave the way for a much bigger, consistent yes down the road. And there you have it, 10 powerful psychology tricks. You can start using them right now to improve your communication, build stronger connections, and become more influential. From mirroring body language to the power of a small favor. These aren't just cool ideas, they are scientifically backed tools for understanding people. But knowledge is only powerful when you use it. So here's my challenge. Pick 1 or 2 that really stood out, and try them out this week. See what happens when you use someone's name, or when you stay silent after asking a question. You might be shocked at the results. I want to know how it goes. This is a community, and we can all learn from each other's experiences. Head down to the comments and tell me which trick you'll try first, or if you've used any of these before, share your story. Which one worked best for you? Your experience could be the tip that helps someone else. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these tips valuable and want to learn more ways to level up your social skills, make sure you destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way you won't miss out on the next video. Now go out there and be awesome.